Just got orders to PCS and move to Naval Air Station Pensacola or Whiting. Now what? Let's talk about it, guys and gals. I'm Charlie Cameron with eXp Realty. I run the Facebook community Panhandle PCS, where we help people move to and from the area and live it up while they're here. So if you need help with anything at all relating to schools or childcare, or moving itself, TMO, on-base housing, off-base housing, rentals, real estate, whatever it may be, join that group, check out the resources below, follow this channel. Happy to help you any way we can. But let's jump into this video. Bear with us. It's a bit long because there's a lot we want you to know about the area. It's very important that we make sure our military families know as much as possible about it. So let's jump into it. Okay, first thing to note is that Pensacola and Whiting Field, they're in the same general area. They're quite a ways apart. So a lot of folks who are going to have to go to both, we'll talk about that in a second, might choose to live in between. But where are they? So the largest city, of course, is Pensacola. People sometimes call it Pensacola Beach. It's really just called Pensacola. It's in the Panhandle of Florida. It's about as far west as you can get in the Panhandle of Florida. Any further and you're in Alabama, where Alabama hits the water and hits the Gulf. The next largest city is going to be Mobile, just to the west. There is an airport in Pensacola. There's one in Destin. There's the largest one in the area is going to be in Mobile. And you are pretty darn far from everything else in Florida. So you're thinking, ooh, Pensacola, we're going to Florida. Sorta. Yeah, it technically counts, but you're really, really far from everything else. From Orlando, you're about 7.5 hours to Disney World. So it is a long haul to the rest of Florida. You're not exactly like in the neighborhood of most of what people think of for Florida. But it's okay because we live on the Emerald Coast, which are some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. And even if I zoom in, you can see that green color. It is a really cool place to live from that respect because you can really enjoy these beaches while you're here, either whether you're single or you have kids, don't have kids. There's so much to do at the beach here. It's really awesome. People pay a lot of money to vacation to Orange Beach, Gulf Shores, to vacation to Fort Walton and Destin and 30A and Panama City Beach, and you're going to live here. So pretty cool. You're literally right next to Alabama. Like you could accidentally wander into Alabama from Pensacola. So let's talk about where the bases are located. So you've got Naval Air Station Pensacola. It's right here. Okay, and downtown Pensacola is right here. So you're kind of just southwest of that. It's basically the only thing south of town besides water. And then Whiting is up here north of Milton, Florida. Okay, so there's Whiting right there. So, you know, a lot of small aircraft training here, a lot of initial training down here at Pensacola. And I'm saying this because it kind of matters. If you're coming here as a pilot or a backseater, you're going to have to split time potentially. And you don't know, it's unfortunate, but you don't know exactly how much time you're going to spend at each location and whether your other location is going to be right here in Milton or whether it's going to be in Corpus Christi, Texas. So kind of weird. So what you want to try and do if you're here for training, you're going to want to try and figure out whether you're going to Texas and coming back, what your follow-on is going to be. So you need to talk to your sponsors or units and kind of understand as much as you can about how you're going to split your base locations. If you're going to end up at Pensacola when you're all done with training, then you probably want to live close to Pensacola. And for the time you have to go to Milton, you'll just suck up the commute. But that's going to be long-term where you want to be because a lot of folks who are living in Pensacola and really that's where they're going to spend most of their time for working, then they're going to be down here near the base. They're not going to be out here. Though if you're going to be splitting time mostly and then potentially PCSing after that, then you're probably going to want to live somewhere in between Whiting and Pensacola. So with that said, let's kind of do a little deep dive here. Okay, so the first thing to note is if you're going to be spending most of your time at Pensacola and just about zero time at Whiting, then a lot of folks tend to live down here in the Perdido Key area. Really cool, hip area, homes in this area, all along 292, and then of course if you can afford it, out into the Key. Now keep in mind insurance is going to be a lot more because you're a lot closer to the water, and if a hurricane comes, you're going to get schwacked first, right? So it's on the affordability side. A lot of naval officers will choose to live in this area because there's, you're at the beach, which is pretty cool. Another option for you is going to be kind of south of Pensacola, the Warrenton area. You can kind of go west of Pensacola, Myrtle Grove. Now, Pensacola is a big city. It comes with its ups and downs, right? So a lot of folks are going to choose to live a little bit further from the downtown area. But if you get close to kind of the Wahoo Stadium and the Seville Quarter, sorry, there's a lot of really cool stuff to do down here. A lot of cool stuff to do. So some people choose to rent or buy down here, but there's not really a lot of, in the downtown area, you're not going to see a lot of like typical urban neighborhoods. You'll see them down here in Edgewater, Lakewood, all these kind of areas, and you can see it from this map here, what I'm talking about. If I zoom in here, you're going to see a lot of just properties, okay? And it could be brand new homes, it could be older homes, it could be mobile homes, it could be any of those things all mixed together, things being torn down and rebuilt. But a lot of cool stuff to do down here. This is the hip place to hang out. There's the McGuire's right there. Pensacola Bay Center, a lot of cool events there. I take my family there time to time and stay in Airbnbs downtown. So good place to be. And then East Hill, very popular for folks, especially if they're going to be commuting. So let's back up, right? If you're not sure which location you're going to be in, or you want to kind of be in a place where you can get to Milton, but you want to be close to downtown, East Hill's kind of awesome for that because you got multiple ways you can skirt over and up to Milton, right? Up and around. You're going to have to go up 10. You could even go up 90, right? So there's a lot of different ways to do that. Of course, if you're going to be spending all your time in Milton, you may choose to live quite a bit closer. So there's Pensacola Airport east of town. So if you're in East Hill, you're there, man. You are ready to travel. Bellevue, very nice area as well. Some military families will choose to live there, but now you're getting kind of further from Pensacola itself. So let me, if I forgot to point out that here's the Navy Hospital right here. So it's actually kind of north of the base itself. A lot of neighborhoods in between there in Warrenton. Okay, now if you live out in this area, you know, so here's downtown, you're just minutes from base. If you decide to kind of live north of downtown Pensacola, your commute's getting into the 20s to 30 minutes, depending on traffic, maybe 35, it depends. Now, some people do choose to live even further out, not a lot, because it gets kind of hard to commute through everything, but you can. There are military families all in the area. Ferry Pass would be one, because especially if you're, you know, East Hill, Ferry Pass, being on the east side of Pensacola is nice if you need to shoot out to Whiting, okay? Some people do choose to live over in Pace. It's kind of a nice in-between, right? So, yep, you can get to Whiting very quickly, you know, within about 15 minutes or so. But you can still commute all the way down to Pensacola in about 35, 40, depending on traffic again. So that's a nice in-between if you're not going to live close to downtown, right? And there's a lot of new build going on in the Pace area as well as the Milton area, because if you look at this, not a lot of places to build, right? Not a lot of new developments near downtown Pensacola or the base, but you'll see a lot of new development going on out here in Pace as well as in Milton. People do choose to live in Milton as well. It's getting bigger and bigger by the minute. So these areas are starting to get a lot more family friendly, more restaurants, more stuff to do. So certainly something to consider now at this point, especially if you're going to be at Whiting for a long time. I know it sounds super hip to live in East Hill or to live near downtown, but that commute back up is going to wear on you. So, you know, even if you live downtown, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to take the family to the beach every day. Like, no problem. I promise you, you're not. And I live, you know, very close to the beach, and we don't go during the week. You're going to go out on the weekends. You can always make the drive, and you can go down to Tiger Point and Gulf Breeze. So that brings us down to that area. So this is all reserves. You're not going to see any homes really for sale in this area. But you'll see places in Gulf Breeze, and that commute is really not bad. You just shoot across the 98 bridge, and you're there. And sometimes, you know, Tiger Point, Oral Beach, moving up into Midway and Navarre. Now, Navarre and Midway, and sometimes Gulf Breeze are going to be, there's going to be competition with Hurlburt Field, which is the Air Force Special Operations Command base right here. A lot of these folks, many of them live in Navarre and Crestview, so you're definitely going to have some hot competition there. And Navarre is really going to be a commute to anywhere. Tiger Point is not bad if you're shooting up into Whiting, but it's a haul. It's going to be a good 40 minutes, and then Gulf Breeze is going to be pretty close to Pensacola, but it's certainly far from Whiting. Very nice places to live, very family friendly. The zoo of the area, Gulf Breeze Zoo, is right here. Very fun place. I'm sorry, it's right here. So you can live down here in Gulf Breeze, but for the most part, to recap, if you're in Pensacola NAS, you're in Perdido Key, you're in Myrtle Grove, Bellevue, East Hill areas. If you are splitting your time, you tend to kind of be on the east or northern sides of downtown Pensacola, Ferry Pass, East Hill areas. Or you may choose to be even closer and live in Pace and Milton. And especially if you're going to be at Whiting Field assigned, you're probably going to be on the north side of Pensacola or Pace, Milton. You could live in Crestview, but man, it would be quite the commute, and it doesn't really gain you much. It's not like it's a slightly larger area than Milton Pace, but not enough to make it worth the commute, in my opinion. Occasionally people will live in Holly or Holly by the Sea because you can ride down 87. But for the most part, if anybody's going to be on this stretch of beach, then they're going to be in the Gulf Breeze area down here. I hope that was hugely helpful to you, but that's just where the help starts. Go ahead and join our Facebook community. Use that QR code, and that way you can join with other military families across the Panhandle to collaborate, learn about PCSing to and from the area, and living it up while you're here. We got all sorts of information on jobs, childcare, you name it, it's in there, and you can ask and express your concerns and questions and learn from the other military families and have some instant friends when you show up. Now, if this was helpful to you, we can help other military families more if you like and subscribe. So please do that, and I'll see you next time.